Hi everybody, welcome back to Leading Edge. My name is Tim Schneider with Aegis Learning, and we're talking about toxic compromises. And last time together, we talked about that, justifying, excusing behavior based on certain performance elements. And today is kind of part two of that same dialogue, but it takes a different angle. I read a lengthy article, and I read a couple of pieces on it because it kind of sent me down a rabbit hole about a famous French actor, Gerard Depardieu, which is really fun to say. Gerard Depardieu. Anyway, he was accused by, and he hasn't been convicted yet, but he was accused by multiple female co-workers, other actresses, of some really inappropriate behavior. And apparently this has been a pattern over a number of years. A number of accusers have come forward. And the reason that that article kind of got my interest related to this subject is not only did he have some quotes attributed to this, but other people around him had quotes that talked about this behavior too. And what they said was, oh, that was just being him. He even admitted to certain boorish, that was his word, boorish behaviors. And he said, well, that's just me. That's just how I have been. And I got to tell you, just because someone has been a certain way doesn't mean it's okay. You hear that a lot in the workplace. Yeah, we know Bob curses a lot. We know Bob is a royal pain in the ass. We know that Bob is difficult to work with, but that's just Bob. You also hear that in family units too. We know that Uncle Bob is horribly inappropriate. We know that Uncle Bob always talks about politics. We always know that Uncle Bob always, makes people feel uncomfortable, but that's just Uncle Bob. And therefore, that is okay. Well, I got to tell you, it's not okay. And you know what? When we allow that, that becomes the toxic compromise. When we allow or permit or excuse that behavior, we're actually facilitating them to do that more. As leaders in the workplace, we have an obligation. And not only is it an obligation to the rest of our team members to make sure that they're in a healthy, productive, engaged environment, we have to confront those Bobs of the world. And you know what? I might as well do this now too. To all you Roberts, Robbies, Robs, Bobs out there, I'm sorry. I just use Bob as a generic name that's easy to remember for me. So nothing personal, Bob. But we have to confront those Bobs out there and say, you know what? Stop cursing. Stop being tedious about these things. Stop grinding on people. Stop being a royal pain to work with. Stop being sarcastic about everything. We need to have those dialogues. We need to be tough about it. Likewise, in a family dynamic, it becomes equally clear. Bob, I love you. You are my uncle. You've always been good to me. Stop. You're making my kids feel uncomfortable. This is not an environment I want them in. Stop. I don't want my significant other hearing this. This is just way out of bounds. Stop. And you know what? Is there potential that there's casualty? Might you lose Bob at work? Might you alienate Uncle Bob at home? You might. But you know what? I got to tell you, when we think about worrying about the casualty and worrying about perpetuating those behaviors through multiple generations, whether that's employees or family members, it makes those conversations a lot easier to have. Best advice I can give you. You know what? Nobody loves to do it, but confront that. Confront that and make that incredibly clear that that behavior is not appropriate and is not going to be tolerated, and you're not going to subject other people to that. All right, when we return next time around, we still have a couple of other toxic compromises to talk about. And a couple of them are very personal, toxic compromises we kind of make with ourselves at times too. I hope you have a great week. And I got to tell you, big encouragement, arch back and confront those, toxic folks out there that don't let them get by, and certainly don't make that compromise. Have a great week, everybody.